Hello and happy Friday. Today I bring to you Discover. Discover is a feature that's really interesting. We're seeing some of our clients get lots of traffic with it, which prompted me to say, how can BSM get more traffic on it? And as I looked into it, we weren't optimized for Discover. So I actually took some steps to figure out how to better optimize ourselves, and we're actually going through the process of helping all of our clients optimize for Google Discover as well. So, what is Google Discover? Well, if you have an Android phone, or if you work out of the Google.com or Google app, you'll see on this example here on the site, this is where you can get news that are provided by you directly from Google. And usually these news or these pieces of article are extremely relevant because they take in consideration your search traffic, your history. I know Chris, for example, uses it a lot, and he gets a lot of great information about SEO. That's how he actually gets a lot of the SEO updates and ideas that we implement as part of the work that we do. So more and more, these articles that come up on the Discover are generating a lot of traffic. So it's really important that when you set up these pages on your website, you're setting it up in a way that it's gonna get picked up by Google to be able to showcase here. So, how do you know what pages are being showcased on um, Discover? So, if you log into your Google Search Console, you'll see that on the left here, there's a little Discover tab. And this is our for the BSM website. And as you can see here, we have no pages listed. And I'm like, why? We have some great content. And we see a lot of other clients that have a lot of pages listed on here. So I actually figured out exactly why. And it's based on some of the requirements that you need on the website to be picked up. So I'm going to put some of these links on the YouTube channel as well, so you guys can have access to this. But essentially, right, the things that you need to make sure that you do for specific articles to show up on that Discover and then get picked up by Google are: number one, you need to make sure that that page is indexed, and obviously you're not violating Google's principles. Number two, something we talk about all the time is we need to make sure that that's an EAT page, right? That you're really showcasing expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. This means it can't be a real simple, thin piece of content. It has to be a really well thought out piece that is going to bring value to people that read it, right? As we continue moving down, and this here is probably the one that we have been guilty of because I have been making images that were smaller for optimization and speed purposes. And that's the reason that I think we weren't getting picked up for Discover. So moving forward, I need to make sure that all of the images on these big pieces that we do have a minimum of 1200 pixels wide, right? So that it needs to be enabled to max image preview large setting. So that's a setting as well. And it must not be the site logo, right? And that's it. Those are the things about the post. And the last but very important step as well, again, this comes from the Google Search Central, and they talk about how to best optimize for Discover and how to make your site found. And this is coming essentially from Google, right? In addition to the optimization things that I mentioned, you need to make sure that the website has something called a follow feature, right? And then here you have a couple pieces of code that need to be added to the website, either on the head section for the RSS portion or specifically on the blog post and on the blog category pages. What this does is it sets a very important feature in there called the follow feature. So when an article gets picked up in Discover, the viewer, if they like that information, they can follow you, and then they were going to get more and more content from you. So if the follow feature is not set, then articles will not be shown in Discover. So I think by following this implementation of this code, these optimization tactics, and then by really creating amazing content, you guys should start seeing more pages ranked under the Discover tab. And again, anything that gets picked up here is going to get served without people searching, but as news feeds. And usually Google does that for people that are of high interest in the subject matter that you are talking about. So I hope this piece of advice helps you. As always, we're here to answer any questions that you have, and have a great weekend.